national governments of these nations need to do, and of course, this donor community, what role do you think they can really do in order to bring a solution to this problem?
Well, there have to be increased investments in research. On Brown Street, we still have to do a lot of research. We still have to do a lot of virology research, for example, determining how the virus spreads, how it really interacts with the plant, how it damages the plant. We have to do a lot of research on how we can breed improved varieties that are resistant or at least tolerant to the Brown Street virus. We have the first resistant and tolerant varieties which have been disseminated in a few places, but we have to extend this. And the efforts that have to be made by the donors, but also by IITA and the national partners, always have to be joint efforts and huge investments. So everybody has to invest in that and come together and support these research programs. And there's also an issue of sustainability. These diseases, they come and go. So especially the national partners are challenged to sustain their research programs, to maintaining the research and maintaining the activities to counter these diseases as and when they occur, and even in a kind of preemptive scheme.
Okay, now let's look at banana also, because I know you've been very busy working on banana. What are your long-term projections of this crop in terms of what you intend to do? Because you had a conference last time, and people are asking, after that conference, where do you want to be? What do you intend to do?
First of all, bananas have a huge potential throughout Africa. They are one of the most important food crops globally, and the second or third most important food crop in Africa. But it is very often what we call a bit of a neglected crop. It's not industrialized to the degree that maize is being industrialized or has been industrialized and traded. It's not industrialized and traded to the degree that cassava is being industrialized and has been traded throughout. So we try to raise that profile for the bananas and to raise the interest in banana investments by the donors, by all stakeholders through this conference. And I think we had a great success here. We had a very good response from donors and also from national governments, national research organizations to work with us further on bananas. And our plans for the future are basically to improve the varieties that we are having on the ground, both through conventional and more innovative breeding and multiplication methods. We also have to improve the agronomy of bananas, where there's a huge potential in soil fertility management, for example, or in farm management. We have to improve the planting material systems, which we are working on at the moment. And I think we have to also go into more preemptive schemes in terms of monitoring diseases. We have made huge efforts, especially last year, with respect to many diseases. Banana bacterial wilt, of course, is one of them, but also bunchy top viruses, which are beginning to spread throughout Africa. And we have been doing major surveys in Africa to determine where these diseases are and what damage they are doing, and we have to keep that up so that we are one step ahead of these disease issues to be able to counter them in time. Otherwise, we will have the same major losses as we have in cassava. They're going in the tens and the 20s and the hundreds of millions per annum, and that imposes a great negative impact on the economies of Eastern Africa.
Okay, now, Doctor, one ask, sometimes you just imagine, how is it working with IITA? You've been with, you've been with this group for quite some time. How is it, what is it like working for IITA to you?
I've been with IITA for a little more than 6 years now, and I think IITA offers a very great opportunity to help rural people in Africa increase their livelihoods, improve their livelihoods, increase their incomes through improved agriculture. And at the same time at IITA you have the opportunity to do very good and very excellent research. So you're combining both as a researcher, doing your research, and at the same time helping people to improve their situation in Africa.
Now, what is the selling point of IITA to staff, for instance?
I would say that this is exactly the selling point, that you have this unique opportunity that you don't really get in many other places, to work for Africa, to work in Africa, which is a very great experience, I think, for everybody, and to do this unique and excellent research on systems, on cropping systems, on crops. So you're doing at the same time research, but you're really working in a very unique place and helping people in need. And I think that's the selling point that I would say for everybody in coming to IITA or being in IITA.
Now, for those that are joining IITA, newly, what advice do you have for them?
I think they will be amazed by the opportunities, and they will also, of course, have challenges to meet. When they work in the stations, they will be coming from maybe other research organizations or other research systems. And I can only ask them to inquire as much as possible about how working in IITA and in the CG system actually goes, and to adapt to this, but at the same time also raise their voice and be innovative and be challenging and improve the system as they go along.